bit so it's not as crazy as the last interval class that I did that I was pretty worthless the next day and the day after. But what we'll do today is I'll kind of make it more like the traditional intervals where we're going to do 1 to 2 minutes of like not so strenuous exercise for Pilates. And then we'll do 30 seconds of something that's a little harder, a little more intense, maybe like changing the pace, making something a little faster. That's probably what I'm going to go with today. I'm a little tired today, so I'm going to try to still teach a really good class for everybody. And then we'll definitely stretch the last like 5 to 10 minutes of class like we usually do. So we're going to start with my classic warm-ups, bottoms of the feet together. We're just going to lift and drop one knee at a time just to warm up our hips a little bit before we get started into our exercise. Once you feel comfortable, feel free to pick up the pace. And we'll go for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring one knee over to the other, open it in the middle, and again, close it open. Kind of push your hands into the floor, almost as if you're trying to lift your bottom off the mat a little bit. That'll help you from scooting forward in this warm-up. Let's start to pick up our pace. Make sure you try to close the knees. Close, 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 close for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring the right foot in front. Grab the foot and the shin using your arms. Pull yourself forward, extending your spine so you're reaching your heart out into the room. And then we're going to roll to the back of the sit bones as we round the spine. Keep your collarbones wide. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Let's do that 2 more times. Last time. Dive over the legs, reach the arms out, start to straighten the spine so you feel that stretch in your hips. You'll mostly feel it in the right hip. Deep breath in here. Exhale, restack the spine nice and slow so we get that stretch through our postural muscles into the neck. And then we're going to take the right arm up and over, anchoring the right hip to the mat. Try not to break your elbow, really stretch that arm up. And then coming up, we'll go to the other side, anchoring the left hip down. Don't break your elbow, reach through the arm. Coming back up, let's go ahead and turn the right leg around the other way. We're going to stretch to the same side. Coming down onto the forearm, anchor that right hip down, and let's stretch away. Come up onto the hand. We're going to push the hips up and forward on our inhale so we get this nice stretch through the front of the hip. And exhale down. Let's do that 3 more times. So really opening up the body, stretching out before we start. It's real gentle. 1 more. Very nice. Let's go ahead and turn the right leg around. We'll bring the left foot in front. Grab the foot in the shin. Start from the top, pulling yourself forward in extension and rounding the spine back in flexion. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. 1 more time. Diving over the legs after you round. Start to reach the arms forward, lengthen crown of the head away from your tail. So you feel that nice stretch in the back of the left hip. Deep breaths in and out. Exhale, restack slowly so we feel that stretch through our spine. All the way up. We're going to take our left arm up and over, anchoring that hip to the mat. Don't break your elbow. Coming back up and other side. And coming up, turn the left leg around. We're going to stretch the same way over the legs. Coming down to the forearm, anchor that left hip down as you reach away. Again, don't break your elbow. Coming up onto the hand, let's push the hips up and forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. 1 more. Very nice job. We're going to turn and face our mat. We're going to roll down into our 100s today. So let's stay in neutral and let's go ahead and take the legs out on our inhale In on our exhale. If you want to make it a little harder and work on your endurance, you can just hold the legs out. By extending the legs and pulling them back in, you work on the pelvic stability a little bit more. So we want to maintain that neutral as we're straightening and bending the legs. So let's go ahead and maintain our neutral pelvis. Think about pulling the hip bones together so you feel your core tighten. We'll bring the legs to tabletop. Tuck chin and chest. We're going to come up into our ab prep. And let's open the knees. So when we extend our legs out, we're in that turned out Pilates V position. Start to pump the arms and extend the legs to start. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, pull the knees in. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Again, feel free to leave your legs out if you want to just work on the endurance of holding the legs there. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 50. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 60. Keep going. Squeeze those legs together. 4, 5, and 70. 80. 90. Last 10. And rest. Just roll the head side to side for a moment. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to start with our legs down to the bottom corners of the mat. So we're going to do 1 minute of nice and slow roll-ups. Then we're going to do 30 seconds of fast roll-ups. So that's going to be our first interval. So taking the arms overhead, press the body into the mat. We're going to take the arms up, tuck chin and chest, rolling up. Flex the feet, stretch. And then scoop, roll down, leading back to the pubic bone. Make sure those shoulders stay down, point the toes. And exhale, rolling back up again. Flex the feet, big stretch forward. And scoop and rolling back. So just nice and controlled to start. Inhale and exhale. Big stretch forward. And scoop and rolling back. And again. Got about one more, which will take us to a minute. Flexing the feet, big stretch forward, rolling back. And we're going to do one more roll up, and then we're going to do fast roll ups for 30 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, as fast as you can go for 30 seconds. 4, 5, 6, halfway there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more seconds. Last one. And roll back and rest. Woo! Definitely feeling that in my core. Feet up on your mat if you need to. Get kind of sliding back on those. And we're going to go ahead and place our feet right next to our hips. Arms to the side of the body. Make sure the shoulder blades are against the mat. We're going to take the arms overhead. On an inhale, we're going to imprint, exhale, roll up into our bridge as you bring your arms down to your side. So we're going back to some simple exercises just to kind of work on articulating the spine, getting that nice stretch through the body. And we're going to do our bridges for 2 minutes. So just rolling up, inhale, holding, exhale, rolling down. Inhale, holding. And again, rolling back up. Holding, inhale. Rolling down. Holding, inhale. We're going to do 2 more like this, which should take us to a minute. And then I'm going to change the position of our legs for the other minute. Just nice and easy, really working on that articulation through the spine, allowing the head to lengthen away from the body. So we're going to go heels together, toes apart. Lift the heels up, and we're gonna do the same thing for the other minute. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Just focus on rolling right through the center of your spine. Try to look up at the ceiling as you're doing your bridges. And just a few more times. Inhaling, exhaling. And I did kind of change the breathing pattern on the second one, so I'm doing it on a 2-breath pattern. And just slowly kind of increasing the pace. Inhaling up, exhaling down. We got about 2 more, which will take us to that full 2 minutes. Last time. And rolling back down. Now you're going to bring your arms up to the ceiling, palms face in. 30 seconds, you're going to do hip lifts with your heels lifted as fast as you can go. Begin. Up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep going. 11, 12, 13. Squeeze. 14. Halfway there. Keep pumping. Lift. Lift. Lift, keep those heels together and lifted. Keep going, we got 5 seconds. Squeeze, 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 and rest. Bottoms of the feet together, arms out to the side like the letter T, and just take a couple deep breaths in and out. Very nice, you guys. Let's go ahead and pull the legs up to tabletop. Want to be in neutral placement. We're going to go into some scissors next. So take the right leg up, left leg out. Curl up. Just grab a hold of that right leg and just give it a little stretch towards you. And then we're going to slowly switch on an inhale. Let's hold it there. A couple deep breaths in. Stretch that left leg. And then let's go ahead and start to switch nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. If your neck gets tired, feel free to put your head down for this one. You can still continue the exercise here with your head down and your arms at your side. That's a nice option for the neck. Just give those legs a nice stretch. Work on thinking about the legs reaching away and getting longer as you pull them towards you. And we have about 10 more seconds here. And then all we're going to do is bring our arms to our side. And we're going to do fast scissors. You want to make sure those hips stay still when you go into that increased scissor. So let's pause here for a moment. Arms to the side of the body. 30 seconds. Here we go. As fast as you can go without the hips shifting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going. 8, 9. Curl deeper. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Keep going, you guys. 10 seconds. We got this. And stretch, stretch, stretch. And switch, switch, switch. 4 seconds. Breathe. 2 and 1. And rest. Roll side to side. Deep breath in and out. Those were kind of fun, right? Nothing too crazy today, like that last interval class that we did. Deep breathing in and out. One more time. And we're going to place our hands underneath our hips just to help support the lumbar spine and the lower back and the pelvis so that we can get a little more range on the next exercise. We're going to keep our head down for this one just to kind of give our necks a break. We're going to reach our legs up to the ceiling. We're going to lower on our inhale, lift. On your exhale, we got 1 minute here. Just take your time. Focus on really contracting through the core as you lift back up. And as we lower, we just want to make sure that our back's not perching. Just nice and slow. Inhale, we got about 30 more seconds. Think about the legs lengthening away from you. Because our hips are supported, again, you'll get a little bit more range of motion. You might be able to go a little bit lower than you would if you didn't have your hands underneath your hips. We have 5 more seconds here. Now what we're going to do is curl up, and you're going to go, again, as fast as you can for 30 seconds. Here we go. 1. Make it a little smaller, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if you can pick up your pace a little bit. Maybe make it a little smaller. 8, 9, 10. Smaller. 11, 12. Keep going. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And rest. Woo, just roll side to side. Deep breath in and out. So it's a little bit more intense as you make it a little bit smaller and faster. Definitely feel that in the low abs and the hip flexors. Deep breaths in and out. Now we're going to go ahead and extend the left leg along the mat. As you do that, pull the right knee in so that you feel this nice opening through your left hip after doing the last exercise. And we're going to go into our leg circles. We're going to be on one side for 1 minute, and then we'll switch to the other side for 1 minute, and then our 30 seconds will be a different exercise. So we're going to take our arms out to the side, palms face down, reach the right leg up, and then we're going to cross the midline. Hip comes off, not the shoulder, and really stretch through that leg all the way out and back up. Inhaling for half your circle. Exhaling for the other half. And this should just feel really nice in the hip joint. And plus you get that nice little twist through the low spine. At 30 seconds, we'll switch directions. Let's reverse directions. Inhale and exhale. Just think about the leg getting longer. And again, anchor through that left leg, the one that's on the mat. We got about 5 more seconds. Let's do 2 more circles. And let's just give that right knee a hug in. And then we're going to switch. Right leg reaches, left leg. Now remember, we kind of opened up the hip first. So let's pull the left knee in to get this opening through that right hip. We're going to take our arms out to the side, take the leg up, and let's start our circles across the midline, down, out to the side, and back up. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, think about that leg getting longer. Inhale and exhale. Five more seconds. Let's have this be the last circle, and we'll reverse it. Out to the side, down, cross the midline, and back up. Again, inhaling and exhaling. So you should start to feel the hips kind of release a little bit as we're doing our single leg circles. Got about 10 more seconds here. 5 seconds, 1 more circle. Let's just give this leg a nice hug in towards the body. And then we're going to take both legs up to the ceiling. All we're going to do is turn our palms around so that they face up. You could be an imprint. Now all I want you to do is slide one leg down as our hips go to the opposite side. So let's just practice it real slow. And then we're going to switch. And you want to keep your shoulder blades against the mat. So really press the back of the hands onto the floor. And as you're bending your knee's actually going to face your opposite shoulder. So make sure your knee's not going out to the side. It faces the opposite shoulder. And one more time this way. Now make these small. We're going to go as fast as we can go without letting our shoulder blades come up. And we got 30 seconds. Here we go. Do little inhales as you shift. Exhale back to center. If you look at me, I'm going real small. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. That way I activate my obliques, I get my heart rate up a little bit. Switch, 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 switch. Side to side, keep going. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Bottoms of the feet together. Take a nice little break. So it's really nice doing them slow and fast because I was really feeling my obliques in that one. And just a couple deep breaths in and out. One more deep breath in and out. We're going to bring the legs together, roll onto your left side, and we're going to be up on the forearm. We're going to flex the bottom foot, curl the toes under, and lift your heel up to the ceiling like so. If that's a little too difficult, you can also relax the foot down. Shoulder back, ribs lifted. We're going to take our top leg for 1 minute. We're going to point, lift, flex, lower. And as you do this, you don't want any movement in the torso or hips. So we're just feeling that squeeze in the side of the hip. So it's an exhale, inhale, exhale. We got 1 minute. Keep going. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So remember, use your breath to guide your movement. Going. Make sure that bottom shoulder is down and back. You want to feel like your neck is very long. We got 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds. Ooh, I'm feeling that top hip. 1 more. Now you're going to point the toe. You're going to reach to that leg so far, and then we're going to lift it as fast as we can without dumping into the bottom ribs for 30 seconds. Here we go. Fast as you can. Lift, lift, lift those bottom ribs. Keep going. Use your breath. We got this. I know it's hard. Keep going. 15 seconds. 5 seconds. Sorry, 10 seconds. My bad. Keep going. You can do it. Keep lifting. Lifting. Fire those muscles. Lift. 1 more. And bend the knees. Let's rest down on the arm. Bring your top leg forward and just give it a little massage by punching out the hip. Deep breaths in and out. Very nice job, you guys. Let's push ourselves up. We're going to go to the other side. So we're going to be on the forearm. Bottom foot, curl the toes under, straighten the leg. Again, if that's a little too difficult, just keep your foot relaxed. Bottom ribs are lifted, shoulders back. Top leg is in parallel. We're going to point, squeeze, flex, lower. Exhale, inhale. So just kind of return back to that longer breath. We got 1 minute here. Keeping your leg looking forward, keep those bottom ribs lifted. Just keep working that top hip. You guys are doing great. Shoulders back, necks long. "20 seconds. Minute feels really long doing this, doesn't it? All right, we got 10 more seconds here. Really starting to feel those abductors in my hip working. Keep lengthening through your leg. 1 more. Now we're going to point the toe, turn it out. Keep those bottom ribs lifted. 30 seconds. Here we go. Lift, lift, lift. Go as fast as you can without losing that stability in the body. As your leg gets tired, it's okay to slow down a little bit. Try to keep up the pace as best you can. We're halfway there. Keep going. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And rest. Bend the knees. Rest down on the bottom arm. Take your top leg forward. Just use a fist to kind of punch the hip out. Just give it a little massage. We're going to push ourselves up and over. We're going to start by lying down on our back. Arms out to the side, palms face down, legs together. Now the next thing we're going to do is just stretch for 1 minute on each side before we do another fast exercise. So we're going to take our knees over to the left. And I'm sorry, palms up. For this one, it's okay if your opposite shoulder comes off the mat. You want to feel this nice stretch in the hip and in the low back. And just breathe. We're going to take our bottom foot, cross it over the top leg or knee to allow the weight of the leg to pull your hip into a deeper stretch. And again, breathe. And we've got 1 minute here. So it's a nice time to let our heart rate come down since we're stretching. You'll feel good through all the muscles we just worked in the head. 5 more seconds here. We're going to go ahead and uncross the bottom leg. Bring your legs through center and to the other side. When you're ready, go ahead and take your bottom leg, cross it over the top leg, and just let the weight of the top leg pull your hip and low spine into a little deeper stretch. About 20 more seconds, everybody. So just keep breathing, enjoy the stretch. 10 more seconds. And let's go ahead and release the bottom leg. Bring the legs up, and that should feel very nice on the hips. Let's just do a little bit of an imprint just to release any tension from having the hips or the low back kind of twisted. And then we'll go ahead and release back to neutral. Let's do that one more time. Imprint. And back to your neutral. Now from here, we're going to take our knees wide, bottoms of the feet together, and we're going to take our arms overhead. Now we're going to do the roll up again, but 30 seconds fast in this position. So here we go. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, begin. You can use a little momentum. You don't have to have your head come all the way down. Just try to keep your feet together. Use a little bit of that momentum with your arms to bring you up and just go as fast as you can. Using your breath. 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds. Last one. Just take that stretch forward. And then we're going to just come up to a seated position with our legs out. We're going to flex our feet, arms out in front. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll back to the spot where you want to collapse. It's usually where your imprint is, and we're going to hold that for 1 minute. Go. Breathe. Feel your belly sinking down towards your spine. Keep curling. Keep that imprint on the mat. It's really hard. Just keep breathing. Of course, if you need a break, take one. You can do it. Keep going. We got 30 seconds. Keep breathing. Keep curling. sinking that belly in. Keep lengthening your tailbone to your heels. Maybe point your toes at this point. 10 seconds. And rest. We're going to take the arms overhead. Deep breath in. Now we're going to come up to that same spot and we're going to do little tiny pulses for our 30 seconds. So here we go. Curling up, pulse. Keep going. You can do it. Grab the backs of your legs if you need to. This is really hard. 10 more seconds. Reach with your arms. And rest all the way back. Oh my goodness, that was awful. Let's roll our heads side to side. Deep breath in and out. If you notice, I just grabbed my legs a little bit to help me keep going. And then for the last 10 seconds, I let go, and my abs were like, oh my goodness, why'd you do that? So just to kind of challenge myself a little bit, it was definitely tough. So let's just take that nice stretch. We're going to stretch our fingertips and toes away from each other. Let your ribs flare to the ceiling. And then exhale, relax back onto the mat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, coming down. And let's do that 2 more times, so that'll take us to a minute. One more. We're going to go ahead and roll onto our left side again. We're going to be up on the forearm. And you're going to have your top foot in front of your bottom foot, and your kind of toe to heel with the feet. Shoulder back and down on the left shoulder, or the bottom shoulder. Top hand on the hip, but of course, if you need a little more stability, you can place your hand in front of you. And we're going to lift our hips up into a side plank, and we're going to hold this side plank for 1 minute. Find length through the body and just breathe. Do it. Of course, if you need a break, just take a little break. You should feel it in here and, of course, in the shoulder, back of the shoulder mostly. Keep breathing. You got this. About 15 more seconds. It's not too bad. I feel like the last exercise was worse. Let's do 5 more seconds. And gently bring the hips down. Now we're going to switch to the other side to do a full minute. So again, top foot forward, toe to heel, top hand on the hip, and let's lift. 1 minute. Shoulders back and down. Equal weight on your feet as best you can. There might be a little bit more on the back foot. That's okay. And just keep breathing. Kind of lengthen out and stabilize that other side so that we're balanced. Of course, if you need a break, just bring your hips down real quick, take a little breather, and then pop back up when you're ready. Keep the length through the body. We're halfway there. We got this. Keep breathing. Keep pulling the hip bones together. Shoulders back. Ten more seconds. 5 more seconds. You can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gently bring the hips down. Now we're going to come into a plank position. Shoulders down. For our 30 seconds here, without moving your hips, we're going to do our little knee tap. So let's quickly just do a couple of them on each side, just so you get the feel for it. You're just tapping your knee, coming back up. And let's begin. 30 seconds, as fast as you can go without moving your hips. Breathe. It's almost like you're kind of pedaling through your feet a little bit, keeping your hips very stable. We got 15 seconds, halfway there. Good, you guys, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring both knees down, knees apart, feet together. Let's rest back in a flat back child's pose. Deep breath in and out. So let's be here for about 1 minute, just to let our heart rate come down a little bit and breathe. Just let's do 2 more deep breaths in and out together. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. 1 more time, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Very nice job. We're going to now hold a plank for a full minute. So let's spread the fingers nice and wide, shoulders back and down, and let's step back. Legs can be together, hip width, it doesn't matter, but let's begin. Just breathe. So head back, make sure it's not droopy, belly in, feet flexed, quads engaged so the knees are nice and straight. Press into the knuckles of your hands and make sure those shoulders are down. Just breathe. Your body's going to start to shake a little bit. That's okay. Of course, if you need a break, just bring your knees down for a little breather. We got this, you guys. Keep going. 15 more seconds. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gently bring your knees down. We're going to rest back in that little child's pose again, just for a few deep breaths in and out. Now we're going to come back up into a quadruped position and nice and tall through the spine. We're going to take our right leg and left arm and reach them back and do little lifts up to the ceiling for 30 seconds. Then we're going to switch sides for another 30. And this will be our holding plank, and then these little pulses will be our easier exercise. And just reach. It doesn't have to be fast. I'm going to make it slow so it's more controlled. And then we're going to bring it down, other side, lifting up, and just little reaches. Think about finding some length through the body as you do this. 5 more seconds. And gently bring the hand and the knee down. Now we're going to lie down on our stomach for our faster, more difficult exercise. It's mostly just because we're going to take the pace up. So we're going to go bottoms of the feet together, actually heels together, toes apart, flex your feet. And then you're going to bend your knees like a little frog. We're going to make a pillow with our hands and rest our forehead on that little pillow. I'm going to watch the clock, so my head's going to be up watching the timer. Lengthen your tailbone to the heels. What we're going to do is pick our thighs off the mat, just like that. So try it a couple times. Keep your core engaged so your hips don't lift up. You want to feel like your pelvis is pressing into the mat. So let's begin. 30 seconds. Here we go. Lift as fast as you can. Little lifts. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And lift, and lift, and lift. Keep going. 10 seconds, you guys. Keep pulsing. Pulse. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze, squeeze. Oh, it gets hard. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Ooh, that was awesome. Go ahead and sit back in a not child's pose, but a shell stretch, because we were kind of in a little extension there. So your knees can be apart or together, and just rest back over the legs. Couple of deep breaths in and out. Very nice. Let's go ahead and come up. So just a quick little rest in between. Knees hip width apart, shoulders down, ribs lifted. Now we're going to take our arms out one at a time, and this can be slow. You want to resist any shifting in your hips. And we're going to do this for 1 minute. So inhale up, exhale down. Remember, this is kind of our slower, easier exercise. A little easier than holding our plank, right? We're getting this nice range of movement in the shoulder joint. We're working the stability in the pelvis. But as you pick up one arm at a time, the hips don't shift. A little bit longer here. And we got about 5 more seconds. And let's have this be our last one. Now from here, for another easier exercise for 15 minutes, we're going to take the right arm forward and side. Forward and side. Forward and side. Forward. And then we're going to switch sides for 15 more seconds. Side, forward, side. You want to keep that stability in your hips. Side, forward, side. One more time. And rest. Now what we're going to do is come up into a plank. We're going to do that same forward and side movement with the arm, but you want to anchor into the foot of the arm that's going to be off the mat, because you don't want your hips to turn. You want to keep your hips facing the ground. What we're going to do is that same thing, 15 seconds, and then other side, 15 seconds. And that will be our 30-second harder exercise, okay? And we'll kind of take it a little bit fast, and then we'll switch. So let's go ahead and set up into our plank. Let's do right arm and begin. Forward, side. Press into the right foot. Side, forward, side, forward, side. Keep going. Keep that right hip down. Forward, side. 5 more seconds. Then we're going to switch sides. Hand down, left side. Forward, side, forward, side. Keep your left hip down. A little bit longer, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hand down, bring the knees down, and let's rest in our flat back child's pose again. Deep breathing in and out. Now we're going to go ahead and curl the toes under, lift your knees, and then press into your hands, lifting your sit bones up into a nice forward fold. Let the arms and the head be very heavy. Feel that stretch in the back of your leg. Now leading up with the pubic bone, we're going to restack our spine all the way back up against an imaginary wall. We're going to take our time. We're going to be here for 1 minute. Tucking chin to chest, rolling back down. If your low back feels a little tight, just soften your knees. And sometimes it feels good to kind of turn your knees inward as you're rolling up and down. It'll feel kind of weird, but you'll feel like this opening in the back of the hip. You want to try that. Deep breath in at the top, rolling down again. You can kind of turn your knees inward. Deep breath in the bottom, everything heavy.
And rolling back up. So we're kind of taking our time. We're at 1 minute. So let's go ahead and keep doing these for another minute. So we take our calmer exercise and articulation for 2 minutes. Because our last exercise today is going to be a little bit more intense. But remember, it's only 30 seconds. Just taking our time, getting that nice stretch through the spine, maybe closing your eyes as you're doing this, as long as you're okay with your balance. Really tuning into the stretch through the body, keeping the upper body relaxed as you restep and as you roll down. We probably got about the time of doing one more, which will take us to 2 minutes. Just taking your time. Nice and tall through the spine. Perfect, that took us right to 2 minutes. So we're gonna walk forward to maybe like a quarter of your mat from the front. And what we're gonna do is we're going to bring our hands on the floor, hop our legs back, one push-up, hop your legs in, stand up. So it's kind of like a little burpee, but we're not gonna jump. All right, so let's do one just to feel it out. You'll bring your hands down, bend your knees. Now hop your legs back into your plank. One push-up, hop your legs in, stand up. That's it. But we're gonna do 30 seconds of them. So you go as fast or as slow as you need to. It doesn't matter because your heart rate's gonna come up a little bit. So let's do 5 more seconds and then we will begin. Here we go. Just try to find that nice plank before you add your push-up so you're stable as you do your push-up. Make sure those elbows are looking slightly out to the side. Use your breath, keep your head and your belly lifted. Probably got about 1 or 2 more, and then that's our 30 seconds. Yep, 1 more. 1 more. We had 3 more seconds, and I was like, we can throw in 1 more, why not? Very nice job, you guys. So let your heart rate come down a little bit. Keep breathing in and out. Very nice job. That's always a good one to get your heart rate up. So let's go into some stretches for the end of class. We're going to bring our left foot forward so you're in that nice lunge stretch on your right. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Have their fingertips on the mat, shoulders down, chest lifted, and just breathe. Let your heart rate come down. Focus on your breathing. Five more seconds here. Now we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. You can keep your toe pointed or flexed, it doesn't matter. Just make sure your hips are square, and we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds and breathe. We're already 10 seconds in, so don't worry. You should feel your heart rate calming down. Very nice. We're gonna slide the left leg back, and we're gonna bring our right foot forward into a lunge stretch for the left side. On the fingertips, lift the heart. We're gonna be here for 30 seconds. We're giving our muscles time to actually stretch. It's important when you're stretching to try to hold for at least 30 seconds. And you can repeat it if you want. Five more seconds here. And we're going to straighten our front leg. You can flex or keep your foot flexed or flat, it doesn't matter.
Just make sure your hips are square and breathe. We got 30 seconds. Five more seconds. And then we're going to pull this leg back, and we're going to sit in a straddle stretch. So at this point, it's been 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more than that, considering the time it takes us to change between the stretches. So your heart rate should feel like it's pretty much back to normal. If it's not, that's okay. Just give your body a little bit more time to recover. Now, what we're going to do is take the arms forward as far as your body feels comfortable. If you feel too big of a stretch in here, just back off a little bit. We're going to hold this again for 30 seconds and breathe. This one, sometimes you'll feel your body like release into it, so you can always come down farther as your body releases into it. Try to keep your toes and knees looking up. And now we're going to walk to the inside of the right leg, keeping this left hip down. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. So you will feel a nice stretch in the lower back on the left. And then we're also getting that deeper stretch through the inner thigh on the right. That was 30 seconds, so let's walk over to the inside of the right leg, or your left, my right. Anchor the left hip down. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Again, you should feel a nice stretch in the lower back on the right. And of course, the inner thigh on the left. Just breathe. Got about 15 more seconds here. And we're going to walk our hands forward and then just take a little stretch down and restack your spine and kind of use your hands to walk yourself up. We're going to grab underneath the knees, sit back a little bit, pull your legs in, give them a quick little shake out. We're going to take the legs in front, take your left ankle, cross it over the right knee, and then we're going to hook the left arm under the knee and the right arm under the foot. And you're going to pick your leg up. You lace your hands together or not. Just try to keep your back nice and straight. You can even rock a little bit side to side. You're going to feel this nice release and stretch in the back of the left hip. We got 30 seconds and breathe. Try to sit up as tall as you can. More seconds. Go ahead and place the leg down. Sit up nice and tall. Take the arms up. Flex the bottom foot and take a stretch down. So now you're going to feel a nice stretch in the back of your right leg. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds, making sure that left ankle is above your knee so it's not on your joint. And if that's too uncomfortable to cross, you can also go here on the inside of the leg. And just breathe. 10 more seconds here. And then restacking the spine all the way up. Let's extend the left leg. We'll take the right leg, cross it over, hook under the right knee and under the foot. We're going to pick that leg up. Try to sit up as tall as you can. And we got 30 seconds here. You can do that rocking forward and back, forward and side if you want, side to side, I mean. Nice deep stretch to the back, that right hip. Try to keep the shoulders back, even though I know it's hard. 15 more seconds. seconds here. And we're gonna cross. Again, if that's too uncomfortable, you know, just having your bone on your leg, you can just bring your foot to the inside. We're gonna take the arms up, the right foot, so your left, and we're gonna take a hinge over and just breathe. 30 seconds. Try to relax any tension in the neck and shoulders and face. Remove the tongue from the top of the roof of the mouth. Five more seconds. And we're going to restack our spine all the way back up. We're going to do one more stretch for today for 30 seconds. We're going to do a little forward fold. Your legs can be hip width apart or a little wider. You can move your glutes out of the way to find your sit bones. We'll take the arms up and we're going to forward fold. And let's actually relax the spine down over the legs. You might feel a bigger stretch in the spine since we're relaxing. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Sometimes I like to move around a little bit. If I move to one side, I feel a deeper stretch on the opposite side. So you guys can play around with that. Shoulders are down. And let's restack our spine all the way back up. Let's come to a crossed-legged position. And we'll end with just doing 2 side bends either way. Inhaling up, switching arms. Exhaling, stretching. Inhaling up, switching arms. Exhale, stretching. Awesome class, you guys. That was a lot of fun. Kind of changed it a little bit. I think it was definitely what I needed to get my blood moving. So hopefully you guys feel the same way. Some of that stuff was a little hard in there. But yeah, I think it was really good. Just get our core, get those intervals in there, get your heart rate up a little bit like we try to do, and then down again for that cardiac training. So excellent class.